after morning. Welcome in. It's 10 a.m. or 2:45 in the afternoon, if you're actually around with us. Anyway, welcome in. My name is Graham Day. I'm joined by the man that we call Baby Wee, Ice Cream Uploads in true ice cream fashion. This is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. Let me I'm just going to go balls deep straight into the intro because we have some facts. We have some facts.
Big facts.
So as mentioned, I'm Graham. This is Baby Wee, Ice Cream Uploads. This is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. And we do go live at 10 a.m. ish on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads each and every single weekday. If you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved over the next hour or so as we turn this live stream into a podcast. And this is where the facts come rolling in.
Fact check me, Graham.
Because not only do we stream live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, but we put the podcast out as a video on YouTube and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud. And I need another finger because there's Google Play as well. So all of those places. And do you know what, babe? We've been telling people that over 105,000 people have listened to this show on demand.
Okay.
I don't think that's true, right?
It's actually incorrect, Graham. It's not fact.
Do we have a fact, babe?
We do have a fact. So the numbers have been crunched this morning. We ran the numbers in September, I think, last year, and now we're just coming up to the end of February, and I can confirm it's now 130,000 people have been watching us live, have been downloading the podcast on all of the Spotify, SoundClouds, the Google Plays, and there's definitely one in there somewhere as well that I completely forget. iTunes,
yes.
all the things. So yes, you guys have been supporting us massively, not just buying the merchandise, but just being around. So 130,000 of you have joined us on our journey since. Do you remember the date?
Not anymore. I remember that we said it about 1,000 times.
in the pilot episode, yeah. So our first pilot was recorded on the 29th of September 2019. I cannot believe we've been doing this podcast that long. It's outrageous, really.
130,000 unique views. That's just unique downloads, views, and listens on the podcast. The channel itself is over 750,000 views.
It's mental.
We are closing in on 1 million. It won't be long before we'll pass 1 million channel views on Twitch this year, I reckon. So
yeah, I think so.
We have a few things in the pipeline, so that's definitely going to be broken this year at some point. So yes, there you go. It's huge. 130,000 individual listens, downloads, views on the podcast stuff. That is badass. So yeah, also that is just my mum and Bibby's mum and Mrs. Bibby, Mrs. ICU, all just watching the podcast over and over and
Absolutely,
over again.
Yeah. It's just never off.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. They all count, okay? Okay.
I've got my 9-month-old mobile. He is now logged in. He's signed up. Baby. I've turned that TV on and it's gone off again.
It's just happening.
I think there might be a connection faulty somewhere.
HDMI's gone. Nope. Not today. Is this your mouse or is?
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeet that one over then, just so I can scroll back up with a chate. Merci. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up through the chat and see who is with us. A lot of you have been here, including Lotus, who was in about I don't know 40 minutes before the stream started with the ish. We did have I had Nietzsche chatting to me on Discord earlier, saying what time are you guys going live? I says I can give you some exact details. We are going live soon-ish, so it's basically double-ish. Don't know. Lotus with the Rizino Sleepies. Let's go soon. How are we doing, JMK? Welcome back, dude. Lake with the lols. What is the lol? Why are we lolling? What you doing? Good after morning. Drew with the cheer. All right, Treacle. How you doing, Nav? Maybe it's super before morning, said some absolute legendary thoughtful process. Oh, that was me. Sorry. Yeah, so. Oi, kings of the world. Neil, welcome in. Well, you are late as normal. Hope you are both well. Eyes up, lol. It is bad. We good. How are you doing? What time are we on? Is it like midnight-ish for you now? It's like 4 a.m., right? Right? Tarantula, don't play with metal, I must sting your tarantula. Okay, that's enough of that.
I've monitors come up and now I've got. Do you
need to go get
Are you happy with that?
It'll be fine.
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
Fucking, I'm sick of standing up.
I wonder what you were looking at. That. I was like, fucking hell, Bibby's not a pendulum fan, is he?
I love pendulum.
Lotus in the chat saying, how you shoot so fast. Let me do some shout-outs. Shout-out to Nietzsche, to Lotus, to Salim, and to Big Ham, who all jumped in some games with last night. And Naughty Nubbin, who was in for one game, can't forget him. You all jumped in for games last night. Last night's stream was really, really good. We had like 3 wins on the way through, which was nice, but we had really, really good games. And I was entered by another man.
Oh, hello.
On stream in a game of PUBG, so there you go.
You may be able to see that on Hover later on.
If you didn't see it, yep, watch it later on. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, catching up. What a beautiful face.
Dankeschön.
Nice. I think I did. Yeah.
I'll
nice.
take that compliment.
you keep it. I play a lot, innit? That was so Lotus got called a cheater as well last night. Cheat, and Lotus was like, I can't remember what he said, laughed at him or something. He said, how are you shooting the SLR so fast? And he said, spend more time in training mode. I mean, he shot you so fast.
Down. How do you come back from that?
I mean, the thing is, the dude that killed us, they must have stream sniped us because they then killed us 2 games in a row following that or something. So it's like,
yeah. The thing is, like, Lotus wasn't streaming last night, was he? He was just via ours and Hamish's.
Yeah, but he did host our channel. Like, yeah, he hosted. He was streaming, but then he raided and hosted kind of thing.
Yeah, but
so
I mean,
probably
like,
gone through and seen it
on the
that way.
PUBG report, if you're streaming, it comes up, doesn't it, that you're streaming?
Yes. Yeah, so PUBG, it will show a clip of his stream on PUBG report.
Right, yeah, that's what I think. That's how they may have probably found him then.
Oh, I mean, his in-game name's the same, so they might just gone for iLotus UK. So yeah, absolute hacks. Why you shoot so fast? So Graham doesn't remember that date, but knows the date Nacho needs to have his drop done by. Well, obviously, because it was 6 months ahead from Thursday, and you look at the calendar, Thursday was the 17th. That's not science. That's looking at a calendar.
We're clearly both doctorates, then. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we look at calendars, we don't look at watches. we don't look at time.
I mean, I've got one, but my sleeve's over it. How am I supposed to use this?
We know what day it is, we don't know what time it is.
Yeah. It's not me watching on my 2 PCs, laptops, or tablets. Not at all, David. Nope. Anyone else watching on multiple devices, we appreciate you very much. Inflate those stats, baby. Juke those stats. The biggest question of the day is, has Doris gone to the post office?
Is that the name of the little breeze that we're having at the moment?
Yes.
Storm Doris?
No, we're on to it was, Danielle told me the name of it. It's like, we're on to G or something, like Gertrude or something like that. What?
I think my mind's just been blown. Did they go alphabetically?
Yeah, so we had... Did you not know this?
No, I didn't.
so we had like...
Yeah, run that back. You probably just see my face change there. That was a memory moment. That core memory's just been made.
I mean, I can't... I might fuck up the facts a little bit, but it goes E, F, G, H all the way through alphabetically. And I think... I could be wrong, but it might go boy, girl, boy, girl. That bit might be wrong. But we had Storm Eunice, then we had like Storm Freddy or whatever, and now we're on to Gertrude or...
Gladys, people are saying in there.
There you go.
But I always thought, and again, there's no need to correct me because clearly I'm wrong, but I always thought it was named after like people who do storm chasing and stuff like that, and they name it after the wives.
Oh yes, Gladys. Yeah. Some storm trail. That 90-year-old Boris is sat there. Gladys, I've got you one. Yeah. I've got you one. I got this first.
We don't have to name moons or anything like that, or name stars because they're shit. They're up in the air. What I wanted to name is something that is going to rip destruction, rip out 500-year-old trees, and bring down a church.
Imagine all these fucking like meteorologists just around the world going, Gladys, oh fuck, you beat me to it as well. Ah, fucking Doris it is then. I'll get you next time, Gladys.
Well, genuinely, every day is a school day because I had absolutely no idea that it was named alphabetically. There we go.
Welcome to the scoop where we talk about all sorts of shit like Gladys and stuff like that. Nice. You clipped it. We did clip it. I think there might even be 2 clips because I clipped one where I got the knock first, but I wanted one for because I was in Ham stream earlier. I thought if I show Ham resin it, then it's not. It doesn't look so heavy promo. Look at me killing people. It was more look at Ham's there getting the res on me. So I clipped 2 of them. So there's one clip where you see me getting knock it, but to watch the stream, click on it, you can see the whole thing anyway. But yeah, it was a Sanok drop that got intense. I streamed 7 till 10:30, then raided. They followed the channel too after hack using me. So they hack used him, followed the channel, and then proceeded to stream snipers. So they called him a cheater and then cheated. Nice one, mate. Yeah,
well, I mean, they're just trying to get the comeuppance, aren't they? They're going to try and go in and go, right, we've got him pinned, and then Lotus comes out of absolutely nowhere, sprays. Yeah.
His shots were on point though yesterday. There was at least 2 of the 3 wins where I had the final dude in my sights, and then I just watched him disappear into a cloud of red. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. Gladys, Storm Gladys. Gladys has never hurt anyone till now. 1994, the year of Storm Dave. That was actually 1982.
I did see something else as well. Camp Lazalad said, "I gotta go. My puppy's trying to rip apart."
Oh, there you go. That's what I was shouting out as we went live. Camp. And I tried to say it wrong. Camp Lazalad. Thank you very much for the follow, by the way. We did see that one pop up. I did start shouting it out and then missed it. So thank you very much for that, dude. Also, after the stream last night, JJ McCaw followed. Thank you very much, JJ McCaw. Thank you very much for that. I don't know if you dropped in from Hover, but we appreciate you.
I and Drew with the bit as well.
Oh, I did get that one. I got Drew's bit. Cheers for giving us your bit, Drew.
Ow, bow, bow. Merzin with the first time chat. Hello there.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I like. That's the only thing with chat is you don't get that first time chat stuff. I like to welcome people in when they've had the first time chat, because it's like you've been watching and you've seen enough to take the leap into communicating with this. So
welcome to our crib.
Thank you very much, Mias. How you doing? Okay, let me catch up. The names are non-offensive. Are they?
Oh, what's an offensive name?
Like Michael.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. God damn. Storm should just be named after women, because when they arrive, they are wet and wild. And by the time they've left, they've taken your house and car. Fuck's sake. Oh my god! If that's not from a mid-90s stand-up show,
absolutely.
I don't know where that is from.
That's definitely something that you'd see on like Home Improvement or Married with Children or something like that. Absolutely. My name is Raymond. No, everybody loves Raymond. Not my name is Raymond. My name is Raymond.
All right, Raymond.
Yeah, my name is not Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
Yes. Anyway, 192k channel points. This is long.
What's it looking for?
Earl. There you go. It's an old day, questionable. It's a good day.
300,000. Is that what he's aiming for?
He's waiting for the mod application. So I mean, we could just make him mod or whatever right now. And I was going to make him a VIP ages ago, and he mentioned that he was saving for a mod application. I thought, well, if I give him a VIP, that kind of spits on that. So I've not. So even though he's a VIP, absolute VIPs, he's not a VIP. Because,
no, he's not a VIPer.
Yeah, nah. Thomas does ask again, has Doris been to the post office? Doris is actually Cinta, by the way, Jacinta. But no, she's not. So your next Doris is this guy.
Yeah.
So we are doing the runs ourselves. Cinta is on holiday for 2 weeks. So we will actually be taking your stuff to the post office. As I said, we, depending on whether I'm actually in or not. But it's either a one-man or a two-man trip. So with that in mind, we're going to give cut-off dates. So everyone that has been sent an email for the first batch, if you pay your stuff and you want it, you don't have to. This is not us forcing you. Not like, you must buy now. Like double glazing salesman, maybe a bit, but no. If you pay it, then by tomorrow, then we'll get it all sent out like Tuesday, and then so it'll be next week, because Jacinta isn't actually around, which we didn't realise until today. So we'll send them all out on Tuesday. So it's not going to be this week as we thought, but there will be shipped. So if you haven't done it by Tuesday, then we've got people waiting. Yeah. So we need to send the people that have been waiting.
So those of you that registered interest, I have emailed you. And if you've confirmed that you would like to be invoiced for it, the invoices have been sent out today. For those of you that haven't confirmed that you want it or not yet, then you better confirm soon, because you're going to miss this batch otherwise.
Get them right. Can I pay for personal drop-off? We've both just had our personal drops a couple of minutes ago. Yeah, before you come on camera, you've got. Oh, you don't mean that?
Drop the Black Album.
Yeah, I don't know. No. Yes. It's actually a pretty reasonable rate. It's only £4,000 an hour.
Lotus says, "Let's drive up and collect." Absolutely, weekend in Blackpool. That's something that actually we need to get organised. Yeah. I know this is like way well off topic or anything. It's actually not. But Arcade Club opens this year in Blackpool at some point. I definitely think that weekend in Blackpool on the piss and playing video games is 100% something that we need to get sorted out.
Not only that, I mean, we've been talking. I mean, we've got half plans, so it's not like I'm spoiling anything because we've not got plans. But we've mentioned it before. We are gonna do some sort of community event where we do a big live stream, because we've got multiple cameras, multiple PlayStations, multiple screens, all this space. place, a green room of sorts next door. So we're going to do something where we invite everyone to come up. If you want a dirty weekend in Blackpool,
absolutely,
just book yourself into a nice cheap B&B.
Mate, you can get a B&B around here for 15 quid
a
night, and literally all you're going to be doing is sleeping in it. So it's everything else is taken care of. So don't worry about
it. Yeah, we have a few half plans. We have some very good big plans that we can't tell you about as well. So there is going to be, at this point, at least 3 events on Ice Cream Uploads in the next 6 to 12 months. At least 3. So yeah. Anyway, we'll put a pin in that. What we will talk about, though, is video game news. As today, EA's CEO tells his staff that it's been impeded by the FIFA brand. Apparently, FIFA is just 4 letters on a box.
Oh, that's scathing. To be fair, like, I know that it sounds really sarcastic, but genuinely, that is scathing.
It's just like, I mean, we use your brand and shit and that, and we work together, and we had a mutually beneficial, but we don't need you.
Absolutely.
God damn. Okay, so EA doesn't need the name FIFA, the brand FIFA. Not the game, obviously. It's still going to own their football game that they make, but they don't need the name. Interesting. We will then jump from that to take a first look at the headset design for the PlayStation VR2 that was shared in our Discord. Was it David or was it Timeless? Okay.
It was your brother, yeah.
Nice. Then Tom Ivan at VGC shared an article saying Twitch streaming has returned to the Xbox dashboard. This is a pretty well balanced show. This with a bit of third party news. Then we go for a bit of PlayStation and a bit of Xbox with some Twitch and stuff thrown in.
Try to please everyone, Graham.
Yeah, well, there you go. Nice. And then we'll finish up with the fact that Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, has now gone gold.
My second most anticipated game this year.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's why you tried to put it as second news article. I see. Okay, we'll jump into the first news story, though, which should be on your screens right about now. Which side of the screen do we need to be on? Left, yes, left. Okay, we'll go over there. Boop. Okay, this is written...
It's a joint article, so they'll put it underneath.
There you go. Andy Robinson and Tom Henderson at VGC have this article. It says, EA's CEO tells staff it's been impeded by the FIFA brand. It's 4 letters on a box. Apparently, the CEO, Andrew Wilson, claimed in an internal meeting that FIFA is holding back the football series. Ooh.
Hello.
Just absolute... Just as he's recovering from the punch, he throws another one. God damn.
Sneaky jab.
Into the body then. Electronic Arts CEO Andrew Wilson has given employees a frank appraisal of why he believes the company could be better off ending its 30-year relationship with FIFA. In his most revealing comments yet on the status of license negotiations with the footballing body, Wilson told staff in an internal company meeting in November that the FIFA license had been, quote, an impediment, end quote, to EA's ambitions for the game series. In comments provided anonymously to VGC, Wilson claimed that FIFA had precluded EA from expanding its games into modes beyond traditional 11v11 or broader digital ecosystems, and suggested that the only value EA got from the license in a non-World Cup year was 4 letters on the front of a box, which means 25% of the time good, 75% of the time shit.
Yeah.
So EA declined to comment when provided with advance notice of this story. EA and FIFA were engaged in a surprising series of back-and-forth statements last year, which started when the video game's publisher decided to make public that it was considering ending its relationship with the footballing body. Let me just quickly look over. So we'll just I'll skim the article. I won't jump through it. I'll pick out some important bits just to jog your memory, because we did go through all of this before, and we will do that now. But FIFA had an alleged demand for EA to double its payment for the license to $2.5 billion over a decade. If negotiations aren't resolved before EA's current 10-year naming deal expires after this year's Qatar World Cup, FIFA 23 could be the final EA Sports football game to use the FIFA name.
Yeah, I don't think you need to read anymore. It's just basically going over their relationship and their history together.
Yep. Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll jump back into the room. So as you can see, EA Sports is fed up of FIFA. What are your thoughts, babe?
Yeah, it's... EA Sports and FIFA have kind of gone hand in hand over, obviously, the last 30 years. You cannot say of the football game FIFA without FIFA in there because it's never been known as anything else, as far as I'm aware. It was FIFA International Soccer on the SNES and the Mega Drive way back when. So it's interesting now that after 30 years, nearly 30 years, someone's coming out and saying that they're hampering us. Like, what happened before the last contract renewal? Because it was a 10-year contract that they signed, obviously in 2010 or 2011, whenever it was. So what was stopping them from going, do you know what, we'll have a look at this, we can potentially change our name now? Like, is it because they're being charged 2.5 billion? I think that would probably change my mind.
I think it's probably that, and it's probably like going back 10 years, the world was a very different thing back then. Like, FIFA was big, but it wasn't FIFA now big.
Ultimate Team was very, very new. I think the first Ultimate Team game
2008-ish?
Yeah, but it was in
there was a Champions League game. I think that was 2007.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and I think that was the first one. It was fantastic. That's when Ultimate Team was. It's not like what it is now. It was literally like, here's some card packs and try and get your players.
It had all sorts of like the stuff that they had to stop doing, like the match recreation, iconic moments, sort of like, oh, United, you're 1-0 down, you need to go out and score 2 in the last few seconds, extreme difficulty kind of thing.
They were brilliant. I mean, to be fair, there was a FIFA game, I want to say it's 2012, was it European Championships, where they did something like that, where you'd have to create a team and then you'd go against all the European teams, and like you'd have to score 3 goals and you have a chance at getting Wayne Rooney or something like that, which I thought was cool. It was just a sign of the times. Obviously then we don't have that kind of scenario mode anymore, but 2.5 billion, like, they're only doing that because FIFA generates way more than that.
Yeah, it's FIFA. The game has pushed up the revenues of FIFA the game. They take tons more money, and it's not because it has FIFA the name. It's because it's FIFA the game that has created a need. Yes, football. I mean, arguably and I'm only going to stick with one league because we're in one country. The Premier League adds more to FIFA the game than FIFA the name does. The fact that they have the Cities, the Uniteds, the Arsenals, the Spurs, all the stadiums, the player likenesses, some of the managers and stuff, the broadcast packages that you see on TV with Sky. People care about seeing what they see on TV and having that experience. They don't give a shit if it's called FIFA. So I mean, obviously, don't call it Ballbag FC. Probably wouldn't do as well. But calling it EA Sports Football Club, as the name has been proposed, I don't think that will damage the game at all. People are going to call it FIFA anyway, because they don't call it FIFA and think, oh, that's also the International Federation of Football. So, yeah, I mean to specify FIFA the game. No, people call it FIFA because it's 2 syllables and it's easy to say. Not. Have you played that new football game from EA Sports?
Well, this is the problem that I think... It's not a problem that I don't think that they have, but one that I can't really foresee. So, the licenses that are within the games themselves, that's free pro, right?
The players that still play are covered by FIFA Pro, so that's like the Federal International Football professionals or something.
So they can have the players, they can have their likeness. Where does the rights for each team come from?
Leagues or clubs. So Barclays Premier League is one big brand, and one of the things that the Premier League have done and the FA have done, if you want to take part in the Football League and the Premier League, you enter the Premier League, you can take part and get a share of the TV pool, you can take all this stuff, but we have to be able to use your product as part of the league brand, so we can sell you as part of the league. And if you so you can do that, and that's where you get the non-exclusive usage of all of the Premier League in FIFA. But then, like with United in eFootball, Konami have then gone to them and gone, we want to use eFootball, your brand in eFootball. Nice, we'll do that. And then Konami have gone to Arsenal and gone, we want to use yours in eFootball. Nice. The issue then after that is the Premier League has 20 teams. If you go beyond 10%, you then look like copyright infringement. You look like you're mimicking the league, which is why football games only tend to have 2 teams in the league, or 3 if they've got bigger leagues or whatever. So Konami can license 2 teams because that's 10%, which is below the threshold for copyright infringement for the Barclays Premier League. So, yeah, you can license a club specifically, which then, depending on how you license that, you can get their kits, their legacy, access to their Legends Vault if they have those rights within the club, their stadiums and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, EA does a mixture of that. They have the Premiership license, and then they have certain other clubs licensed. Like Italy, they didn't have the league license. They licensed all the teams because that's how they lost Juventus or something like that. Or the Italian league, it's a case of you can opt out of it maybe. So Juventus could go, actually, we don't want to be covered by your license. Whereas the Premier League, you have to be in it, kind of thing.
Interesting then. So I know this is a charge statement of sorts, but without the FIFA license, does FIFA still hold its weight? Bear in mind that they will still keep the Premier League license. Like, that's never going to end, I don't think. I think that they know full well that they cannot do what Pez did in the late 90s, early 90s. They cannot have Manchester Blue, Manchester Red, and stuff like that.
Good old Trad Brick Stadium.
Yeah, it just... Who was Ligon? Was that Chelsea? I can't remember. It might have even been City. I can't remember the original names, but they cannot survive if they do that. It's the same. The lost Juve, and it was called Piemonte. Like, they could not have a full game like that in this day and age.
I mean, imagine the salt. Imagine, like, Pez got shitloads of hate for taking over Juventus and forcing Piemonte into FIFA. And that was one team, which was quite funny because that's been happening backwards and forwards on both sides for years. But when it goes on the other way, it's like, you're fucking ruining games. So just imagine that, though, with like, it'd be like, I mean, Manchester Red's gone, so you'd be like, they'd probably do like the East Manchester and stuff like that kind of.
Yeah, it's in like. They've used the license for as long as they've needed to now. Like I said, they're only getting use out of it once every 4 years. Do they want to be spending $2.5 billion over the next decade over 2 World Cups? Arguably, I'm just going to say, do you know what, mate? EA Sports FC is just so much better, and we'll save the $2.5 billion and put it towards something else.
The thing is, like, what does $2.5 billion buy you then? The name FIFA, okay, we'll call it football. People will go, all right, let's play EA football. Nice, job's good. Football club, EA Sports FC, whatever. It's the same sort of thing. It doesn't really change anything. So what else does it buy you? One international tournament every 4 years, or every 5 minutes if FIFA get their fucking way. But every 4 years, you can have a World Cup edition, which then opens up a shitload of worms because the World Cup is one of the most brand-regulated events ever. Mm-hmm. So trying to do any stuff around that, yes, you get yourself great placement and put alongside all these massive brands and exposure at this major event, but you try to do stuff and it's like, actually, you need to use this font. Actually, you can't say stuff before this day. Actually, you're representing that team in the wrong way. They need to be honest. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, can they monetize that properly? Can they release a full mode? Does that work well with their audiences, releasing a FIFA mode? Mm-hmm. Do they release a FIFA game? Do they do it for free and have add-ons? So it's probably profitable, but it's still a shitload of work. And often, and you know, I'm not going to say often, I'm going to say always, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, there is an issue in some way, shape or form with a World Cup or a Euro release game because it's either too late, not enough teams, not all the teams, not all the stadiums, or it costs
unlicensed.
Too much. Yeah, exactly. So do you want to spend $2.5 billion to open up this kind of worms?
Yeah.
Or why don't we just do, in the summer, we'll just do a special mode in the game where we have a tournament.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we know it's the World Cup, you know it's the World Cup, but it's not the World Cup, mate.
Well, the thing, like it's so bizarre because this is just straight off the top of the dome. They're paying £2.5 billion for a transition, walkout sound, competition music, scoreboard, logo, banners around the stadium. That's a lot of money for 6 things.
I mean, I would design that shit for half that.
Yeah.
Easy.
Do you know what? 1/10 I'll be happy with. Do you know what I mean? But it's not a lot of content that you're getting for $2.5 billion.
The interesting thing, though, is the use of the word impeded, which then that's where I start to think anyone that's ever worked with a major international brand, and it doesn't have to be football, it could be fashion, it could be TV, it could be confectionery. You go to Coca-Cola and go, can we work with you? We've got 2.5 billion. Coca-Cola will be, yes, nice, okay, nice, we'll take the 2.5 billion. Okay, this is how you can't use our logo. I see your plans there that you've got for that marketing thing. No, we don't like that, so you need to change that. Also, we don't like that person because they've said they don't like sugary drinks, whereas we do like sugary drinks because Coca-Cola. So get rid of that person. And it's suddenly you start opening up all sorts of shit. Yeah. So they're saying they're impeded. I bet that is brand stuff like, actually, we're FIFA, we don't want you doing that. It's like, yeah, but we don't really need you. You
have to talk to this particular person. Like, we actually really wanted João Felix on the front cover, but Mbappe is the golden boy, so you have to go for Mbappe. But the last thing from my side that I want to bring up as well, it says, FIFA has precluded EA from expanding its games into modes beyond the traditional 11v11. How? Because they've got a billion modes in FIFA now, so they've got basically FIFA Street.
I wouldn't be surprised if that include that FIFA Street technically isn't football in that sort of sense. Like, it obviously is, but like it's a story mode based around like people kicking around on non-football pitches. So it's just people kicking a ball. It's not football. I mean, it's kind of football, but it's not football. So I reckon that probably includes, we want to do five-a-side on the pitches. Maybe the legend stuff that you'll see on Sky Sports. And stuff
Masters
like
football's coming back,
yes,
baby.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, if this license, them not paying for 2.5 billion brings back in indoor football like in FIFA 97, Road to World Cup, I'm in.
Well, UEFA has a big futsal league, indoor football, five-a-side sort of things like that. And I wonder if FIFA have gone, you do realise if you do five-a-side, you're mimicking UEFA, which is our competitor. So we actually don't want you to do that. So EA have probably been going, people have been asking us for five-a-side, FIFA Street indoor stuff for years. And imagine if FIFA are the ones just going, nah, actually, no. And EA aren't the dickheads all along.
That's another problem, though. Like, if that's the case, would they not have to get in bed with? I mean, they already are. They've already got UEFA, haven't they? So it's not really a different discussion. But yeah, having UEFA and FIFA in the same game, I'd never even put them two together. But yeah, like having indoor football again, Masters football coming back, that'll be amazing. But that, like you said, that brings a whole different kettle of fish. Like, do they have a limit on how many legends they can bring into the game to be able to do the likes of a Masters football? So City will be able to bring back like Vincent Kompany and not Lee Bradbury, but Sean Goater and stuff like that.
See, I think for something like that, I think that's fine. I think because they are individual brands as such, then so you can license every legend forever. The only thing is pound for pound, a retired player probably costs more than an actively playing player, and that's because an actively playing player is covered by the FIFA Pro license, which has thousands. But that guy's 10 grand, and it's like, yeah, but 10 grand, whereas it costs, I don't know, 100 grand or whatever for all of them, and it's like one player is a tenth of that. When I've got literal thousands.
I can tell you that Richard Dunn would be happy with a chippy tea.
I mean, so would I. Sign me up.
Yeah, a chippy tea, he will be bang up for going in there.
Yeah. If you want ICUFC in the game, that's absolutely fine. Chippy teas all round. Do you know what? Not even all round. We'll just share one. A couple of plastic forks. Job's good. Nice. Okay, let's scroll back up and see what your homies are saying. Also, I did see this one earlier on, so let me. Best scoop ever! Thank you very much for that, Kane. You're welcome. Hey, Kane, how you doing? Where did we get to? Oh, this is the boys want to come up to Crash Jellyfish HQ. Neil got auto-corrected. God damn it. When? I don't know. Summer? It probably makes sense to do it in summer when it's nice, right? Do you know,
absolutely.
Bit of Blackpool, Pleasure Beach.
Listen, if it's summer and we're having people up here, I'm getting the fucking barbecue out. Do you know what I mean? We are grilling, baby.
Yeah, on the grass bit outside. Ooh.
Oh, it'd be great that when it get the old parasols out.
Gazebo.
Gazebo. I'm feeling it.
Nice. EA tells its staff to F off. COVID cancelled, didn't it? Yeah, you get me. Chatty, why'd you keep scrolling away? God damn it. There we go. Elden Ring is amazing, by the way, says Timeless. Do you know what? We don't have a review roundup, but I was listening to Kinda Funnies last night. 97 on Metacritic and OpenCritic.
It's one behind Breath of the Wild, isn't it? I think Breath of the Wild is the best ever at 98.
Yesterday it was joint top or something like
Right,
that.
okay.
So, but it might change. It was like joint top on thingy with
Crazy.
Wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, absolutely madness. So Timeless, are you going to be streaming your ring tomorrow?
Hey.
Can we see your ring nice and early? Twitch.tv/a timeless soul with underscores, underscore timeless underscore soul. Neil says my Xbox hasn't updated. Pain. Yeah, that'll be my PlayStation. I'll have to do both of them when I get back. Nope, I disagree. People bought/buy FIFA due to the license, in my opinion. I'm going to piss myself if they drop it and its next game flops. Do you actually think that's a chance? Are you playing devil's advocate, or do you believe that's the case? Because I agree that people bought it because of FIFA. I don't agree that people buy it because of FIFA. I think bought and buy is two different elements there. So in the same way that Madden, God rest in peace, may he rest in peace. Madden was used because he was an iconic brand that could shift units. FIFA was used because it was an iconic brand that could shift units. At this point, FIFA doesn't need FIFA the name.
Yeah, they've got so many issues going in and around FIFA with corruption and stuff like that. Like, you're probably best off distancing yourself as far away as you possibly can anyway.
I mean, the thing with Madden as well, the beauty of that is Madden is a football player that people have a lot of affection for. The NFL can fall out of favour. If the NFL do shit things for players and have no concussion protection, this, that and the other, then players can just fuck the NFL. Fuck them. And FIFA, like, it's the equivalent of that in the UK would be calling it, rather than FIFA, would be calling it Maradona best. Pick your footballer, Charlton or
Foden.
Whatever. Yeah, big skin-fed shagger. But we don't call it after a player. We call it after the federation, which nobody likes by definition, because that's the faceless brand.
Bramble.
Fucking Titus Bramble.
It's been a long time since someone's mentioned Titus Bramble. Jesus Christ.
I mention Titus Bramble all the time. He's my go-to for to tell me shit footballer. Titus Bramble. To be fair, Madden was a coach and a broadcaster more than a player. Yeah, I mean, even still, it's not necessarily about the player. It's the fact that he's a personality. He's not the brand. He's not the rule maker. Nobody likes the man. And the FA or FIFA or the NFL, they are the man, whereas Madden is a man, which is quite a big difference. So I believe people bought FIFA for FIFA. People now buy FIFA for the football game made by EA Sports, because that brings them Ultimate Team. That brings them experiences. Most people will play FIFA and play football. Not most, a lot of people will play FIFA and play football, but they are very different things, socially and financially and whatever.
So if this license was up for sale, then eFootball I don't think would probably ever go for it, but that leaves it open to, they will never be able to charge 2.5 billion to anybody else. No one's ever going to buy it unless there's some money laundering service going on somewhere and a new football game comes out and it's got FIFA written on it, and that'll be the end of that kind of thing. But
UFL, nice.
That's I'm not saying UFL are money laundering in any way, shape, or form. But if that was up for sale and they ended up buying it for an undisclosed amount,
2.4 billion,
then how do you think that plays out in the footballing game community? And I don't mean from me and you having an opinion on it. I genuinely mean, like, what would the general consensus be?
See, the things that I can see there is that's where you get all sorts of... There would probably be court cases. Let's say UFL released UFL 22 and 23, and FIFA 23 was the last one. And then we get to EA Sports Football Club, EA Sports FC 24, and UFL go, we've got 2.5, actually, we'll take that. And UFL becomes FIFA 24. You will get shitloads of sales from people going, oh, I'll buy FIFA, and it's not the same game. But then you'll probably get court cases where it's actually that's damaging our brand, our product. It's copyright infringements and stuff, and it's like, but you licensed their brand, and there are probably all sorts of can of worms and then out of court settlements and shit like that around that. However, I don't think it will change that much because what does the FIFA do? What does FIFA do?
What does the FIFAs do?
What does the FIFA...
what do those FIFAs do?
But what does it do for you?
Yeah.
As a nothing really. It does quite a bit behind the scenes, but your TV and ITV and Sky Sports or whatever bring you the World Cup, which is governed by FIFA elsewhere in offices and shit. But for the end user, FIFA doesn't do much. FIFA goes through 72 layers of monetized bureaucracy before we get to that point. So people don't really need the brand FIFA. The FA and the Premier League, now that is a different story. If it came up to 2.5 billion to get the Premier League, FIFA are like, ooh. I mean, not a lot of people know, but EA Sports has first refusal on the Premier League's license. I said not a lot of people. It's not like it's a super secret thing. It's been well documented, but not everyone seems to know it. FIFA has first refusal. EA has first refusal on the Premier League license. So when it comes up and they go, it's for 4 million for this year, they go, okay, sold. And nobody else gets a chance, and they renew it, and they renew it. It's 5 billion, 6 million, 17 million. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. And if one day the FA just went, you know what, fuck this, 2.5 billion, there'd be a significant. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can't really afford that. We're not going to make any money, but if we get rid of that, we're not going to make any money as well. Or they could make money. Do we? And I think that is a bigger loss. The Premier League and other leagues are the bigger loss. Not just the Premier League, obviously. Not so much Liga 1, and I'm not saying Farmers League or anything like that, but whilst it does have the Mbappes and the Neymars and the Messis and stuff, the league isn't as an attractive prospect as the Premier League.
But I'd say if you could name it 10 teams from I'm going to say the Farmers League, but that is so disrespectful.
So, I've just said it's not a Farmers League.
Yeah, I'm just going straight in there. But
I'd probably struggle.
I genuinely would though. Like, and that's from someone who plays a lot of football games and Football Manager and stuff. Like, my football knowledge used to be pretty good, and now it's just abysmal.
See if I can trigger a bit. Okay, I'll go first. PSG.
Olympic Lyon.
There we go. That's what I was looking for.
I was going to say Nancy. Nancy.
Yondine Bordeaux.
Olympic Lyon.
So yeah, there you go. Babiaro. The chat's just devolved into would-be footballers.
John Terry's Nancy Child.
Shamak 23. Good old Marouane Shamak. Let's go. Lord Bentner 23. Beckham 22. Surely Beckham has to be 23, right? Ferguson 23. Messi 22. Money laundering? NFTs? John Terry's Nancy Child Apes 23. What the fuck?
No, I saw yesterday one of my childhood heroes, Sean Wright Phillips, has got into the NFT game. John Terry was peddling it for ages.
Sean Wright Phillips is in the NFT, and so is John Terry selling like weird apes? Like,
yeah, so he had one made of like ex Chelsea players. So he had like a Willian one, which I thought was mildly racist, because obviously they're all apes, aren't they? Just dressed up as Willian.
Fuck's sake.
So yeah, he did. That didn't look too well on him, considering that he's been history. Of him being a racist. But yeah, he ended up getting a lot of backlash for it and taking his NFT cover down. It's now holding the Champions League again. But yeah, Sean Wright Phillips ended up getting to it yesterday as well, which I didn't think was. I
love the fact that we probably could have named 10 teams, but we thought, sorry, that's just a fool's game. So Nietzsche went for it and then named Lens twice. PSG, Lens, Metz, Bordeaux, Marseille, Saint-Etienne, Monaco, Lille, Lens again.
You see, Lens. I would have got 4 of those, I think.
Yeah, I'd have just
maybe
gone,
5.
I'd have gone for. I wouldn't have got Lens or Lens, how we pronounce it, because it's just not the standard. I'd have gone through French place names in my head and then hit the associated teams.
Shit at Mastermind.
Yeah,
60
Lyon.
seconds.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I've got PSG 6 times. OGC, nice, lads, nice. OGC Nice. It's nonce. I know it is nonce, but
nonce.
It's actually there is subtle differences, but when it comes out of my northern mouth, it sounds exactly the same. It's nonce with a TS, not a CS, but it's the same. Nonce, nonce.
I could have sworn
nonce.
At Pez League when we had Asbaby SK, he was signed up to. I'm sure he said that it was not. They was pronouncing it Nance. I'm just taking that from someone who is actually French, but yeah, you could probably get it wrong.
It's probably just thinking, I know what it means in English. You're English. Call it nonce. Why are we talking about Jimmy Savile? Moving ahead. So Rio, RVP, and Sean Wright Phillips are on the NFT train. Why is it always players whose names can be shortened to 3 letters? RVD's not in it though, so he's one of a kind.
No HBK.
Goddamn right. Hopefully, stay out.
Oh, Triple H.
would be Fergie23, surely.
Yeah, that's for the name of the game.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was like, I'm trying.
Yeah, I feel like I have to be immediate. The immediates are here, just rolling it back.
KKB signed me up. EA Bramble 23A Bramble. Okay, jumping back up. Where did we get to now? EA. Oh no, we're a bit further. Oof! Wow, we've talked a lot on this. We like the conversations. This is what happens when we talk football because we've got a lot of football friends. People buy FIFA because it has the real names. PES were the better game 4 or 5 years with budget fake names. FIFA Ultimate Team took the title, but now that's just a money box. It's convenience. A lot of people. PES got a lot of community because people could hack the game, make it what you're not supposed to, stick your finger up to the man. But a lot of people buy FIFA because you don't have to hack the game. It's just fine, out the box. And when you're in an Instagram society, people just want top brands without effort. So, yeah, there you go. That's a bit of it as well. Unless you're interested in the Brazilian League. EA football sales are very poor. EA reached out to FIFA to renew license. EA come back to the table and demand $3.5 billion. Headline, I can see if they do drop them. I can't see it. I don't think they need it at all. I don't think it'll change much. It's an established game as long as teams and players are licensed. Yeah, I agree with that one, though. The license is not tied to the FIFA brand. No. So FIFA, that's it, literally, is just the four letters. That's what it is. So it's 4 letters on a box. You get access to the FIFA World Cup, and you get the ability to use the FIFA brand. But the Premier League is licensed separately by the FA. Serie A is licensed with the Spanish La Liga. The Liga is with Spanish. Serie A is licensed in Italy. The Eredivisie, Liga 1, all of those separate. Liga 1 with Lyon. So yeah, all separate. So that's why FIFA as a name, it's not that big a deal.
Aye.
Where do we get to? Yeah, I'm a big fan of that Spanish-Italian league. Yeah, the
that hybrid.
Yeah, Serie A from La Liga. Is it? You sure, Graham?
It's been a long day, all right?
Yeah. Chat. World Cup this year, so that may push their hand a bit. I mean, they've got it licensed anyway this year, so they're going to take that anyway. It'd be waiting for this World Cup literally just after EA Football would likely be released. I mean, you kind of feel, though, it's you'd license it for a full calendar year, but then again, yeah, no, because the World Cup's 22 and the EA Football 23 will run until August next year-ish. You've got a feel for when the football season kicks off, or maybe July. So you kind of feel it has to be in it, right? Chippy T for done after scoring another OG. Standard. I see you, Barbecue, 100%. Barbecue, yes. Tried to say playing player 10 times really fast without spitting. I can't say anything without spitting anyway.
Play.
There's a big plastic shield between me and Billy. Say it, don't spray it. No rings, keeping it to myself. Boo. To be fair, Madam was on. I've done that bit. And then we get to the names. Neville 22. Okay, fast forward. There we go. The team whose name features a man having a tug. Triple H, time to play the game. Dun, dun. If Vince knew what NFTs were, he'd have definitely made WWE NFTs.
Mate, he absolutely will. He absolutely will. It'll just be on the back burner for the time
in production.
being.
Production.
Dead right.
Sensible Soccer, best football game, period.
Now, for the you audio listeners, that isn't Graham blue screening. That is literally West having a panic attack as he's typing in the chat to try and correct himself 3 times.
That's taken me back to the old days where damnyouautocorrect.com was a website because you can see like his follow up as well. So it said sensible soccer full stop, best football game period, and then straight after it period, and then straight after it again period. For fuck's sake.
It's the separate line that always tickles me.
So many. If you haven't seen it, check out Damn You Autocorrect. Damn You Autocorrect. It's some of the best content you'll ever see because you can feel the frustration in these messages thinking, I've done that. Anyway. EA tells its staff that it has been impeded by the FIFA brand. It's just 4 letters on a box and fuck that shit. $2.5 billion to be impeded by 4 letters. Damn. Which is 4 letters, by the way. I just said that, because I'm clever in that. So, yeah. Anyway, into the news. Our next news story has been shared by David, a.k.a. FatmanDave8472, on our Discord, which, if our chatbot was working, I would say type exclamation mark Discord, but it isn't, so don't bother. Have you set up a command? Oh, I thought you'd set up a command. I thought he was going to press a Discord command. Then I was like, whoa.
Come on, Graham.
But this article though is on the PlayStation blog. Does it have anyone credited to it? It does. Hideaki Nishino, who is the Senior Vice President for Platform Experience at PlayStation. And he shares, or she, I don't actually know, so I'm assuming there. First look, the headset design for PlayStation VR2. So the inspiration behind the latest VR hardware design. Today, I am especially pleased to reveal the stunning new design of our next-generation VR headset, PlayStation VR2, together with an updated and final design image of our PlayStation VR2 Sense controller. You'll notice the PSVR2 headset has a similar shape as the PSVR2 Sense controller, taking on a matching orb look. The circular orb shape represents the 360-degree view that players feel when they enter the virtual reality world. So this shape captures it nicely. The design of the PSVR2 headset was also inspired by the look of the PS5 family of products. When our design team created the PS5 console, they also had the next generation VR headset in mind, so you'll notice some similarities in the look and feel. The PS5 console has flat edges and as it is meant to be displayed on a flat surface, while there was more emphasis on adding roundness to the design of the PSVR2 headset, since it's meant to have constant human contact, similar to the round edges of the DualSense controller and Pulse 3D headset. Our goal is to create a headset that will not only become an attractive part of your living room decor, but will also keep you immersed in your game world to the point where you almost forget you are using a headset or controller. That's why we paid very close attention to the ergonomics. I'm going to speed up now, by the way. That's why we paid very close attention to the ergonomics of the headset and conducted extensive testing to ensure a comfortable feel for a variety of head sizes. We already had a lot of positive feedback on the ergonomics of the PSVR headset by carefully balancing the headset weight and having a simple headband that can be adjustable. So we kept the same concept for the PSVR2 headset. Other features, such as the headset's adjustable scope that places the scope area closer or further away from the face, and placement of the stereo headphone jack, also remain the same, so players will be familiar with it. Okay, skipping through the next paragraph. Slimmer design, slight weight reduction, built-in motor for headset feedback. It was challenging to create a slimmer design with all of those new features, but basically, it feels they kicked its ass.
Yeah.
Nice. Another treat we wanted to share, similar to thousands of tiny PlayStation symbols, we added to the design of the PS5 console and DualSense controller. We also included tiny PlayStation symbols to the front and back bands of the PSVR2 headset to add a comfortable feel for our players to enjoy.
Groovy, baby.
Groovy, baby. You interested in PSVR2, Bib? We have had a little bit of a dabble of a PSVR in this very studio.
Mm-hmm. You have the pictures on your phone.
Yes. I have. For those that haven't seen it, I have a library. Every time someone in this office puts on a VR headset, naturally they can't see what you're doing. So I have a one's up selfie in front of Bibby playing a PSVR, probably an Oculus as well somewhere as well. Because
we had them upstairs, didn't we? It was at Quest 2 before Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, if this PSVR 2 can improve on the original PlayStation VR, which was incredible, I just felt it was slightly underpowered for what was capable at the time. I feel like it was 720 in each lens, or maybe even smaller. So some things do become a little molten. So it did become a little bit blurry. So hopefully they'll be able to improve on that. If we can get really high spec stuff for a modest price, I think it'll do extremely well. I think that's what PlayStation VR did originally quite well. It was priced accordingly. It was the same price as a PlayStation 4, which I don't think is bad considering you've got like the Valve Index, which is just over £1,000, I think it is. Which that's obviously the
actual witchcraft though. What
yeah, having the gloves on and stuff like that, it's amazing. But I did see a lot of people moaning about this being wired, which I don't have a problem with. Like, obviously it will limit your range and stuff like that, but for a massively powered unit like this, like the Oculus Quest
oh, you mean that, sorry.
Like the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Go and things like that, they're very good. The graphics on some of the games are fantastic, but to have that PC level power, I don't think there's a VR headset for the PC that isn't wired that can do the same capabilities of the wireless stuff. I think there is obviously some flaws in there somewhere, so it needs that extra boomph to be able to get the power through to it. So for me, it's a non-issue. I feel like all the best VR headsets are all wired because they need that extra power. If it wasn't, it would be like having. We referred to something. It was a handheld thing. The Nintendo Switch in 4K. Like the battery would just last 20 minutes and then that's it. This needs to have that proper watt and volt going through it.
I agree. I mean, if Wes was here, he would say, you know what, headsets need to be wired. Period.
Period.
Yes, period. Period.
For fuck's sake.
Rehearsed it. Absolutely.
Sorry, Wes.
Period. Nice. He might not even still be here anymore. If he isn't, someone do feel free to share that with him because we love you, Wes. Yes. The most difficult part, I imagine, would be the input lag if wireless. Any delay between action and display would increase motion sickness, wouldn't it? Yes. That's plus the fact that the amount of data that would need to be you are bad boys. The amount of data that would need to be spaffed wirelessly as well, because you're not just creating. A lot of games are intelligent in the fact that your viewfinder, what you can see in your 1920 by 1080 screen, or 4K, whatever, is what is rendered. Everything around you is rendered when it's needed. That allows your processors to not do that much. In VR, you need a full 360, everything. Not 360, 360 is a circle. You need a full spherical, everything around you. So the amount of stuff that needs to be rendered there and then sent through wirelessly, wires, it's a little bit awkward walking around looking like Neo when he's not been unclipped from his tub in the Matrix. A big wire sticking out the back of your head. But it kind of needs to be there. So I'm not against this. I see a lot of people saying, yeah, but when you've got a wireless setup, then it's freer. And it is. Yeah. It absolutely is freer.
No one's ever denied that.
But I want bigger, better experiences, and if the challenge for me is, okay, you want to play PSVR and you want Ready Player One experiences where you can spin around and run around and whatever, you can't really do that with the PSVR 2 because if you spin around a few times you'll trip up because you've tied yourself up. And it's like, okay, well, what's the alternative? Well, you can spin around and stuff, but you are going to be playing in Nintendo Switch graphics because we have to scale it down so that we can send it over. I'm like, well, give me the fucking RTX 3080 ray traced stuff then with a wire. I'd rather have super immersive content rather than scaled down content. And that's where the trade-off is. VR hasn't really moved that fast, or not as fast as I'd want it to. I've said for the past 3, 4, 5 years, I'm interested in VR. I want to play VR. I remember might have been more than 5 years ago. It might be more like 7, 8 years ago. I was at MCM Comic Con in London, and some indie developer was basically walking around the show trying to like drum up interest in his little VR device, which was kind of the Google Cardboard stuff, but it was a headset that he'd essentially put a phone in, bastardized the phone screen and stuff like that to make it work. And then he had a PS3 controller that you carried in your hand, and you used the controller to do your movement and stuff like that, and then you could turn around with it, which was cool. And I was thinking, okay, that is enough to sell me on the idea. Give me something that's beyond the idea. Turn that into reality. And for me, VR hasn't quite got to the point of reality. I don't think, for me, we are right at the point where it is reality enough. PSVR 2 probably isn't going to be what I want it to be. There's probably not going to be as much depth, as much scope and stuff like that, which is where I then pull away from that. A wire in the back of my head, all of the new full HD screens and like super comfy designs and the actual for purpose controllers, not just, oh shit, we don't have any controllers, so let's throw out those Move ones, the kind of stuff. But
there have been experiences where they've come close to replicating VR though. Like Half-Life Alyx, I think, is the one that gets battered around the most because
that's the one on the £1,000.
Yeah, with the index, so you can actually pick up a gun with your little finger.
I love you do the exact same thing that I do. Well, as soon as someone mentions the index,
gotta move the fingers.
Children, it's like the child catcher.
But yeah, there is experience. Like Timeless has asked if I've played Skyrim with VR. I haven't. I think that's the only version of Skyrim that I've not played. But playing Resident Evil 7 on the PlayStation VR, that was a fantastic experience. That's the best one I've probably had. But going back to the wireless thing, like, can you imagine, and this is a bad example because it is already on the wireless version, but imagine playing something like Beat Saber if there was a tiny little bit of lag. Like, it'd be impossible. Like, what you're hearing in your ear and what you're seeing on your screen are completely out of sync.
Imagine Seven Nation Army. but you've got a hit on every half-beat.
Your brain can't do that because you know in your head already that the beat is to a particular to a beat to the particular beat. I don't know the way of saying it. Like, you know when the beats are coming. Like, you don't even need the music. You know when the beats are coming. So yeah, I mean, again, it's a poor example because it's already on there. You can do it without it, but like having Guitar Hero, you know the song, you know where the guitar sounds are coming from, and you know when the chords should be played. But what you're physically seeing and what you're hearing and performing are two completely different things. So yeah, they can't be underpowered. They need to have the full experience. So Wired, for me, for this particular thing, no problems with it whatsoever, because if you, like you said, you want the best experiences. Unfortunately, we're still in a universe where we aren't quite there yet.
I think, and that's my worry with this. Do I want a PSVR 2? Yes. Do I want PSVR experiences? Yes. Have I seen some London Heist, obviously, PlayStation experience? We've spoken about that before. Does that look amazing? Yes. Is there enough of those experiences for me? Not quite. There's a lot of VR games. There's a handful that have seen my attention that I think, I'd like to play a bit of that. I'd like to play a lot of that. But then there's tons of stuff that I'm like, nah, I'm not that bothered about. So, would I want a PSVR? Yes. Would I want the experiences? Yes. Do I envisage there are going to be a lot of games for me? With the evidence that I've seen, it's almost like a PS Vita. Maybe it could break out and be a Switch, and people will develop stuff and we'll have multiple titles and stuff. Do I think the hardware can deliver what I want? Not entirely, but if you do get a lot of development invested in there, people will find ways to think about things in a new way. So I'm excited about VR 2. I'm not excited. I mean, it's gone off the screen now, but Time was talking about the PSVR, said it was the same price as a PS4 Pro. Yeah. Would you buy an entirely new PlayStation console to get access to one or two games in its entire life cycle? Because that's what PSVR was for me. I wouldn't pay for unless I knew for dead certain that I was going to play as much as I've played PUBG over the last generation. That doesn't happen often. That's a once in a generation game.
If spilled into the next generation.
Yeah. But like, if I knew that they would give me a once in a generation game that had that gripping thingy, then yes. But even still, the games that I've seen would have been great experiences, but they're also been short experiences. So I want it. I don't want to spend over 350 quid. But there's so much technology, so much physical hardware. The Move Sense controllers themselves, there's sensors that can tell where your hands and stuff are. You've got HD lenses that are separate. You've got all these different other inputs, microphones, speakers.
Yeah. We're a world away from Kinect.
Yeah.
We've come a long way in 14 years.
And the price reflects that, but the experiences that I get out, pound for pound, aren't the greatest value. If I wanted a value experience, I'd look elsewhere. So, do I want VR? Yes. Is it something I'm very interested in? Yes. Would I be more likely to get a PSVR than playing something retro? Yes. But do I want to spend 400, 500, 600, 700 quid to do it? Nah, not me.
I had to look at what date the Kinect came out, because I could have sworn it was like 2007, but it's not. It was actually 2010, so I was completely wrong with that one. But like I say, we've come a long way so far. I think the next generation, I mean, we haven't really seen much of this one yet, so I don't want to be too hasty in judging, but I feel like the next generation is probably going to be where we get to a point where, you know what, everything that we're wishing for now we're going to get, but then there's going to be other teething problems. Like, it's never going to be perfect.
Nah, I just want it to progress visibly, and I think VR definitely has come a long way. But there's reports of PlayStation funding R&D from all sorts of different developers to try and push the genre forward, the industry. It's probably better off calling it an industry, the VR gaming industry as opposed to the games industry. We need developers to share learnings, because when you get those dev jam sort of stuff where they all share, this is how I would code that, this is how I would make that happen, nice, I'll take that and I'll build this on top of it, and then that's when magic happens. We need more of that, because there isn't enough of that happening for the industry to just go and once we get that, it'll be good, but we haven't had that yet. So at this point, it's a great product, one that I want, but one that I'm cautious about investing in. Anyone tried Netflix in VR? That's a game changer.
I have not. I always come back to that video of that, but you must have seen the video of that bloke watching porn in VR, and his missus comes downstairs and he's got like he's whatever's on the TV. He's got his headset on. You can hear him like slapping nothing, but he's making the sounds, and she goes fucking ballistic at it. It's amazing. If you've not seen that video, there's nothing rude in it or anything like that. You don't see anything, but his missus, you can hear the sounds. You can hear the sex sounds.
I've not seen that one.
It's fantastic.
I can barely function in the real world. Don't need to feel inadequate in the virtual one too. Touche. Baby, did you play through Skyrim in VR? He said no, right? You did.
I did say no, yeah.
I play a game called Onward on my Oculus. It's a milsim game and it's epic as hell. Except when I try spin around, I nearly always fall over. We've actually done some work with Onward, by the way. Onward VR. We've done some stuff with the devs on that around content placement. So there you go. Jelly Media facts. Netflix in VR is like being in the cinema, says Tito.
I think I might actually have a picture of Walker watching YouTube with the headset on, but he was pissed up and he's fallen asleep at mine with his VR headset on, with his phone, watching some history shit or something. I'll have to see if I can try and dig it out on my phone.
It's okay. Mark Zuckerberg has a plan for us all to live in the VR universe soon. Tech will be more advanced in a few years, and this headset will be outdated super quickly, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with that one too. That like if it's tied to a console, then you've got a bit more security with it. If it's left to someone like a Facebook or something like that, it'll be this is the 2022 VR headset that you need for your digital meetings and stuff like that. Nope.
They didn't have any revisions, did they, of the PlayStation VR?
No. But they didn't have any content to revamp it for.
There was quite a lot of games on there. It was just ones that we probably wasn't going to stand the test of time.
There was a lot of chaff and some really good bits of wheat, but you had to search through the chaff. Arizona Sunshine. If you get that setup working perfectly, I could see that being a great game.
Yeah.
Like I say, at the very beginning, London Heist, but then there was hardly anything between that sort of stuff that I was like, yeah, this is me.
Maybe we're going to get to a point where you can actually play Guitar Hero with your headset on and it looks like you're on stage. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't
crowd
it?
in front of you.
Yeah, because they had that with the Guitar Hero Live, but when you got the highway playing in front of your face, and then that was cool. I'd love something like that.
Like, I wonder. I'm just looking at the buttons. Then you'd probably end up having to play the guitar like over two hands, because you've only got like.
You just wouldn't use them, would you? Because even on the guitar, you didn't need the controller, because it'd have like a little dial at the bottom that you can move around the menus with.
I'm just thinking like the hand tracking, because they won't know where you are. So if you're looking down, you'd want to see, if you're going, you'd want to see the guitar lifting up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll release like a nubbin that you stick on the top of your guitar so you can see where it's pointing, that kind of thing. You're sat in a ski lodge building with a massive screen in front of you. Also said it before, we'll all be like the people in Wall-E with headsets on our pods, not actually talking to people. Shit, I'm old. Yeah, just big fat tubs of lard that just float around. I mean, I'm on my way. I'm already on my way. No way am I playing Resident Evil 7 in VR.
Just put a clean just put 2 pairs of boxers on, you'll be fine.
My main issue is not enough support on top tier games were released for the original. Just a handful of games I would be interested in. Amen, I agree. That was the other thing with the original. You didn't get the controllers with the VR pack. You had to spend another 70 quid for the Move controller. So technically it was 420 quid. And the controllers weren't built for that. That was almost... that stunk of... shit, we made all this Move stuff and about 8 people bought it. So now we can just make people buy them with the PSVR, because we can just sell them that way. So it feels like that was where they just went, yeah, fuck it, we'll send that shit out.
I'm fairly certain you can find them on Marketplace now for like next to nothing.
But I'd see this though, with these sexy round things that are built for purpose, not just like you stood there with a candle in your hand, like I've got this high tech VR headset and 2 candles. Yeah,
a full bundle, £200. That's not expensive. All Star Wars Squadrons, they must have bought that just for that game.
Yeah, so it's cool.
Fruit Ninja VR, who's buying that? Who's buying that? Oh, the Iron Man game was apparently amazing.
Yeah, annoyingly, we're gonna play that. We were gonna play it at Gamescom, and then it was closed or something.
Yeah,
and then it was mega cute, and then I was gonna play it somewhere else, and it got pulled from the event show or something. Anyway, I'm going to move ahead because Bibby is almost out of time, so I'm going to fly through your next 2 articles in record time. We'll just give you an update for both of them. We don't really need to go through the news. Yeah. So this one, jumping from PlayStation, let's jump over to Xbox. What was that one? Yes. Okay, we'll jump over to Xbox. This is written by Tom Ivan at VGC and says, Twitch streaming has returned to the Xbox dashboard. Microsoft says the feature is back, re-engineered, and better than ever. So Microsoft has brought back Twitch streaming integration directly into the Xbox dashboard. After testing the feature since October, it's now available to all Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One owners following a dashboard update. Twitch can be found by navigating the capture to the capture and share button tab on the guide and selecting live streaming. Players will need to link their Twitch account by scanning the QR code with a mobile device or by visiting the URL on a PC or mobile. Once their account is linked, users can select the Go Live Now button to begin live streaming games downloaded to their console. Headsets and webcams are supported by...
Yeah,
are supported? Okay, nice. And Microsoft has included the ability to manage game and mic audio levels, including party chat and manually set resolution and bitrate. If users swap games midstream, a pause screen will be displayed when they're not in the game, and the console will automatically update the title when they're playing on Twitch. Twitch was previously integrated into the Xbox One dashboard, but was removed in 2017, meaning players who wanted to stream from Xbox to Twitch were required to use the Twitch app. Xbox Series X and S. Okay, fine. We know it sells. Nice. So if you want to stream on your Xbox to Twitch, it gets a little bit easier. You can just do it without using the Twitch app now, straight from the dashboard itself. Simple, straight to the point. We understand. It's good. Nice.
Very good.
Nice. Then we will jump into this one, which is also very good. Let me jump us over to the other side of the screen. This one is written by Joshua Robertson at The Gamer. It says, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has gone gold. The game is ready to ship over a month before launch. So Star Wars fans can begin to get excited as it's been announced that the new Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has officially gone gold, meaning the game is in a state that is ready to ship. All the devs need to do now is to polish the game up and add the finishing touches before it goes out to retailers and digital storefronts. This news was announced via the official Lego Star Wars Twitter account, bringing forth a wave of hype from Star Wars and Lego fans. The tweet in question congratulates developers at TT Games for their hard work over the course of development and explains what going gold actually means. Just to clarify, a game going gold means that it's ready to ship, but doesn't mean that work on the game has ceased. Developers at TT Games will still be hard at work getting the game over the finishing line, polishing the game, and working on potential day one patches that can be sent out via updates. Hopefully, then developers can have a nice long break, as reports suggest the development of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga has been anything but smooth. According to a report from last month, TT Games has somewhat of a toxic workplace environment, accusing co-founder John Burton and other lead figures of shouting at employees who simply attempted to leave work when they were supposed to. By the way, babe, 5 minutes. Let's see what happens. Upper management also apparently has a pretty nasty attitude towards crunch, with employees claiming that projects are usually planned with crunch periods in the schedule. Imagine planning to crunch.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Yeah, in a month's time, you're going to be working 7 till 9.
Some of us, being you, are going to be overworked, but I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
Oh, great, nice one. Cheers, boss. Yeah, lovely. Let's hope that working conditions at TT Games improve once LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is out on April the 5th. Okay,
yeah.
It's coming to all formats. Nice. Are you interested in playing this? Are you going to be playing this?
Yep. Second most anticipated game of the year.
Behind
WWE.
Nice.
I mean, straight away people are going, oh, it's got to be Elden Ring #1. I've left you all teasing that for the last hour or so. But no, my most anticipated game is WWE, and I cannot wait to be able to play that one. So yeah, this is going to be mega. Love a bit of Star Wars. Here he is. Hello.
Just going. Sorry, I just had to go and sort my belt buckle out.
There you go.
What are you saying?
Something about winning a belt somewhere.
I should have just come flying in.
Yeah,
just like
took me outside. But yeah, I can't wait for this. I mean, there is a load of other games that are coming out as well, and Timeless has listed them there. GT7, Tiny Tina, Elden Ring, obviously WWE, and Lego Star Wars. That's a hell of the next 2 months or so. You know what? I'm gonna hold it like Ric Flair. You got to hold it sideways, haven't you? You know what I mean?
I'll do the nature board. Woo! Let's go. You actually deafened me then.
Did I? What, with a woo?
Yeah.
They'll be loving that upstairs.
Nice. Do you know what? absolute childhood ambition having your own title belt made up. 100%. I mean, we are quite childish anyway. It's quite apparent.
Wow.
But fuck,
understatement.
yeah, this just brings out absolute.
Absolutely.
I mean, look. I mean, it's impossible to pick it up and not smile unless you got. Unless
we tried to do our angry faces, didn't we, the other day? Like, I know miles away here, but we tried to do. Has anyone tried to do a serious face when they're like, if they was to win a title belt and they had to put themselves on like a billboard somewhere? I don't think I've got it in.
Give
me.
us the Bibby taker.
That lasted all of about 2 seconds.
Rest in peace. Would you like a Twitter?
I look like I'm on the fucking Hood video. What's going on down here? Anyway.
Yeah. Amazing. Can't wait for this. What a treat the next few weeks we have for us gamers. Elden Ring, Gran Turismo 7, WWE, 2K22, Lego Star Wars, Tiny Tina Crazy, period. Do you mean period? Says Timeless. Gaga, you called? Cannot wait for WWE. Wouldn't put WWE in that just yet. The hype for that is weird given the shit show that was 2K20. But that's the thing though. The hype always mentions what a shit show 2K20 was. So like all of the stuff that we've been sharing has been caveats. It's not the full game. Caveats were playing the early release stuff, but 2K20 was a shit show, 100%. But in 20 years, they've not had a year off, which they have, and I don't begrudge your cautious approach to it, but I still think there's a lot of space for cautious optimism.
Yeah, you can't dampen someone's excitement about something. You can go, like you say, it's a cautionary tale, but ultimately, if you're excited about something, it's very hard to try and dampen that.
I think
down.
There is definitely caution because the last one wasn't great, but the fact that there was one missing and that doesn't happen, that's a massive statement. So I think it's too easy to just say the last one was crap without acknowledging the fact that there has been a whole period and more where one has missing. So I think that balances it for me. I'm happy enough to stay happy about it. I will probably be gutted if this game isn't exceptional, but I'm happy enough to wear. I've bought a title belt. I'm happy enough to wear my heart on my sleeve for this one and get burned. I don't mind. Tiny temper. No. The Rock and Aston carry over the shoulder for me. Yeah. Time to go collect the wife and baby. Thanks for the scoop, my G's. Thank you very much, Neil. Ladies Neilio, you're childish? Never. No. We'll check emails for the invoice shortly.
Great style. Do let us do that.
Yeah. If you've not gone, do it, and then we'll make sure you're in the first batch as well. If not, you don't have to rush. You just won't be in the first batch because we just don't want to keep the first batch waiting. So that's all it is. You should Ric Flair is the way to go after the Dark Side of the Ring controversy.
I know, but
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's not. He was always notorious for getting his knob out anyway, and that kind of went in depth as to how much of you could arguably say he was a predator. I don't know if he's still on WWE TV. I mean, obviously his daughter is, and she's awesome, but I don't know how much TV time he gets nowadays. But yeah, yeah.
Well, Bobby's off hole. Yeah. Not Bibby's off home. It's absolutely done you there, Timeless. Bobby is off hole. If we were at home, that's where I would type ! Bobby, and it would correct you. Bobby. Need the lights to drop out and the big gong. Bong.
Yeah, that's one of it. I said this to Samantha the other day. Like, that's one of my biggest regrets. And technically, it's not a regret. But being able to see The Undertaker live and being involved in the crowd when you hear the bong and the second bong, all the lights go out.
That's the thing for me. For me, it was always Shawn Michaels is my favourite wrestler of all time by a long way. Then Jeff Hardy. But that feeling of it's like the anyone that goes to the View Cinemas now and you get that John Boyega video before it starts. That's not a patch on. Lights go out. Hello.
Ladies,
it's funny, isn't it? What a little bit of darkness can do. It was like it heightens the sentence, broadens the mind, and it's just the View Cinemas like thing. It, but like it's that, but in wrestling terms, all the lights go out, and then you just hear the crowd go,
yeah,
and then you get the bong, and it's like.
Well, they changed it, didn't they, at one point because they did the first bong just to get the reaction of the wrestler in the ring. and then the second bong would go, and then it would be darkness, and it's just like, I would have loved to have been there at any point just to be able to was it WrestleMania 32 where he took 7 years to get to the ring because the ramp was the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life.
The only thing that tops that for me is WCW era when Sting versus the NWO, and it would just go dark, and then it'd come back up, and Sting would just be in the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
So they'd be like,
I've always thought that, like, did they end up... They're not
chilling out under the ring for 4.5 hours.
That's what I mean. Surely they must have been able to crawl under something. But yeah, that's me. That's me done. I need to go and pick up my wife and kids.
I'll read,
Kid. I haven't got more than one. I haven't got two.
Sorry, Sam. If you're only just found it out, oh no.
Yes, I am.
But yes, whilst Bibby's jumping his stuff together, I am going to wrap things up. Thank you very much, everyone, for being in and around the stream today. We appreciate you dropping in.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye. Goosebumps every time for The Undertaker. Yep, same Hall of Fame this year. I think he left before it came out, and it cost him a rumoured arrival in AEW. I almost went to Mania 26, Taker versus HBK2. Oh,
yeah. I watched that on YouTube the other night when I was cooking. And then I watched the Triple H one as well, where Shawn Michaels was the special guest referee. What a match that was.
Taker is my favourite character. Bye! Eddie Guerrero was my favourite actual wrestler. David was a Taker guy. Taker going into the Hall of Fame, I cannot wait. I watched wrestling on TV once, Lotus. Mate. Do you know what? Baby's gone now. We can bring it in close and get all romantic. Bow, bow, bow. We are going to disappear, though. Thank you for sticking around for the stream. We will drop a raid on someone, so don't go anywhere. I will throw up the end slate. I'm looking over there because that's where the chat screen is now. Okay, I'll go back to full cam. Oh, hello. Hey, how you doing? Welcome in. So yeah, welcome in just before I turf you out. I'm going to throw you on someone else, so don't go anywhere. We'll drop a raid on someone. I'll see who is on. We'll go send them some love. We do appreciate you sticking around for the whole stream, even though it was super late in the day. It's now 4:05 in the afternoon. We're supposed to go live at 10 a.m. So if anyone is here or has been in here, we appreciate you sticking around for the stream. You beautiful people. If you do want to get involved in tomorrow's show, though, as always, you can help shape our show by sharing any stories that you might find around the video games industry and sharing them with us on Discord. Just drop in our Discord. All we need from you in the scoop section is a link to the news, plus your thoughts and impressions. If you want to give those, we will then give you our thoughts and impressions in the very next show, which will be at what time, Graham? Well, Graham, that's going to be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Ish. Nice. There you go. Okay, stick around. I'm going to drop a raid. I don't know who's on. I've not had a chance to see because I'm doing two-man job. So it is what it is. I absolutely love you. You're all beautiful people. Do feel free to stick around for the raid. You'll get yourself extra channel points. We'll make someone feel good. And if you are new here and you haven't done it already, do feel free to hit the follow button because we are like 40-ish followers away from 3,000. Big things. Big things. You get me. I get you. You get me. Okay, I'll read. I love you lots. Until next time. Waiting for it. Find it nice. Until next time. Stay frosty. Yeah.